It is another lovely and sunny morning at the off-grid farmhouse that I've earlier shared with you on this platform. The maize is now dry, as you can see, and this is how it is done so that it disengages from the cobs. Please come with me inside. It is a wonderful opportunity to show you how much progress has been made since we were last here. So this is the entrance, and there's a bell. Yeah, that's how good it gets. Right here we have the house is a bit disarranged. Of course, this is expected because there's still a lot of work going on here. A lot of building materials, as you can see, and this section is still remaining. This is the living area. So there's this corner that is still yet to be worked upon, and this is also the area that harbors the solar unit. So this is more reason for you to stay here. In the next edition, I'll cover how this house is fully sustainable by harnessing their own energy using these solar panels that you now see on top of the roof. Well, there's still a lot of work to be done here. These are the gypsum walls, the gypsum boards that have already been fixed on the wall, but as you can see, the nails are still exposed. So that means there's still a lot of skimming to be done so that the nails are not as exposed. We have some materials here that are being used. Of course, the gypsum cornices are here. This is the skimming powder. This is what they use to cover up most of the dents and the blemishes that you don't want to be seen after the finishing is done. Of course, we'll later witness a lot of paint works, especially in the master bedroom and the other bedrooms that have already been done. I noticed that most of the time I get to see Crown and Duracoat products, so that is a plus for them. I think this means that their products are quality. Otherwise, why else would someone want to use these kind of products consistently? So this is the skimming powder. Once it has been mixed up, of course, it has to be used within 2 hours. And this is just evidence that our friends, the fundis, have been here. You see the cut gypsum boards. They're cut in all shapes because, you want the final thing looking very lovely. Yeah, and a lot of material. So this is how we left the room the last time that we are here. And we are yet to witness what they want to do to this room today. This is the master bedroom. Of course, there needs to be cornices put all along those corners. And as you can see, they're just gearing themselves up. Of course, they've been working in this room even before we came in. So Josephat, as I mentioned to you earlier, is a very gifted persona. If I can call him so. He really works efficiently on the gypsum boards. It is just something that I think I can say he has gifted hands, alongside his friend Julius, who is also a very good companion and assistant in this process. So you'll just witness a bit of what they do this morning. This is just what they call skimming. So there's a lot of working on the joints, so that not any point is left unattended to. By the end of this, you'll not even realize that these are small joints that have been worked on consistently. So this is just the fiber tape that is used to join the two joints so that it comes out as perfect as possible. So this is the most of what is taking place this morning. And a glimpse outside, the clouds are heavily gathered. Looks like it is going to rain, which is a good thing because earlier in the morning I took a walk in the farm and I realized that there were a lot of vegetables, but the ground was rather dry. So if it rains, then it is going to be a plus for these vegetables, which this farm sells to the community around at a farm gate price. The ultimate plan is to have this farm self-sustainable in a very complete and exhaustive manner. So in the meantime, they depend on rainwater, but in the long term, they are going to work on a plan where these plants can be watered from the rainwater that is harvested. I'll create a different edition for that so that you can see how wonderful this farm operates. So the rain is coming and we have to stop everything else that we are doing so that we get to help to get the maize that had earlier been dried on the lawn out, because it will be such a waste if they are rained on. So you witness the whole team is here. Even the fundis who are working on the interiors are here to help to get the maize off the lawn.
Inafanya na chaji yake ilipotea hapo.
Hii wiki nikakunywa soda kubwa kubwa.
Well, having finished up on that, we all get back to our business, and the skimming process continues from here. So while they work, I'd like to share with you some tips that I've learned from interacting with these artisans. Number one, you need to find good workmen. If you want to have a fine finish of your house, if you're making it with gypsum, then you need to find people who understand their trade. And then aside from that, these people are the ones who will guide you on the right kind of materials that you need to buy. So there are a lot of accessories that are used when you are doing gypsum in your house. And if you buy the right one, including the gypsum cornices and the fiber tape that you see them using, then the final finish, of course, is going to be something that you've envisioned, something beautiful. Also, they need to be patient. The workmen need to be patient because this skimming powder needs time for it to dry. So after every layer, they give it some time so that it dries up. And of course, if you get a good workman, then that is not something that you should worry about, because of course they'll be the ones to know how they need to work on the gypsum boards. And well, let me not bore you down with a lot of workmanship. Let us explore the compound. So this is the exterior of this beautiful farmhouse. It is an off-grid farmhouse that I've mentioned as many times as possible. If you find value in this video, I'd advise that you pause the video for just a few seconds and then you give me a thumbs up, or that means that you tap on the like button. And then, of course, keep it here so that you see the video up to the end. So this is the beautiful environment that you see. This front lawn is going to be covered up so that it forms sort of a gazebo where people can rest. And of course, you can see the kind of materials that will be used here. In the meantime, it has been used to air dry some of the produce that come from the shamba. But finally, it is going to be sort of enclosed using these metallic poles that you see in front of the edge of the veranda. So these ones here are going to be used so that it forms a canopy where people can rest. Of course, this is going to be covered up with the Mabati that are lying on the other edge of the wall. So these are the metal poles that I'm talking about. And the Mabati are these ones. So you see, I'll just, when all this is done, of course, I'll get here so that I show you the final picture. And I just have a feeling that this is going to be a very, very beautiful home. Aside from that, it is also a business, you know. Aside from being a home, it is a business where people who are visiting and they want to have sort of a homestay are welcome here. So you can come here with your family, you take rest, and then you cook for yourself in the kitchen. All this I'm going to showcase as soon as they're done. Well, I get back inside and I find the fundi who is trying to explain to me how the cornices are put. So usually you find the flower, the format, so that they align. And finally, when it is joined like this, you'll not even realize where the joinery has been done, if the workmanship is good. So this is basically what Josephat has been explaining to me here. And finally, we are going to see how he takes fittings for the gypsum cornice. So this is just what he wants to do right now. He's just fitting it on the wall at the edge so that he sees how far it is going and how far or how much he has to cut off. Yeah, and that is just how he chops off the extra, and it is now ready to be fixed at the corner. So I also learned that this skimming powder is the same that is used to stick the fiber cornice at the corners. So it's also acting as glue or gum for that matter. Another take-home tip, if you're going to be the one buying these accessories when you're doing the gypsum boards in your house, then one way to differentiate the real fiber cornice versus the fake one is that you see the way the fundi is handling it right now. For the real fiber cornices, you are able to, it is quite malleable, as you can see. It does not break easily. So you'll notice that you are able to carry it from one point to the other alone, and it is easy to handle. Unlike the fake one, there is one that is made of powder or unga, if you like. Most of the time they call it the unga or cornice. So it breaks easily. It's usually very difficult to handle it alone. So like you need to carry it 2 people, and very gently. One holds one end of it and the other person holds the other end. Then you carry it very gently so that it does not break. But this one here is the real type, is the original type that is made of fiber. And now it is more durable, it is easy to handle, and also the patterns are easy to blend with each other because the edges are finely done. I think they are machine cut. So that is one take-home point that you can work on, especially if you're someone who's interested in making this fiber. I mean this, what are they called? If you're interested in having the gypsum boards in your house. So now the fiber cornice is ready to be put on the wall, and Josephat, being who he is, we had a funny moment here. You see, Josephat wants to climb on top of the work table without holding any other place. I was joking at him of his monkey habits. Anyway, Julius came in handy and assisted him, so they're going to put it right at that corner. So after fixing it, he scrapes off the excess powder so that it doesn't dry there and leave irregular edges. Finally, it will be wiped off using a wet cloth so that there is no evidence that there was excess skimming powder anywhere. Also, it makes the paintworks easier and ensures that the final look is on point.